Fair. So, I still know I have about 10 odd minutes with you, so I'm still going to ask more questions. So, the US is going through a little bit of a bad time. I think there is. Yeah, yeah. So Europe is not a little bit of a bad time. Europe is going through a bad time. So, but I think in I think in many ways the world does look to the US for when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? And I think there's a lot going on with the Occupy Wall Street demonstrations. I think Fred's pretty involved in the whole thing. What I'm wondering is, do you think fundamentally this whole dynamic that's sort of going on in this world with these frequent ups and downs has changed what entrepreneurship means? Or are things still the same? Everybody's trying to make sense of it. I'm just curious to understand what your take on the whole thing is.
Well, I think that the youngest entrepreneurs, right, the ones that are, let's say, are younger than 30, right, are looking at their parents and saying, wow, my dad worked for that company for 30 years and they laid him off, right?
Yeah.
Or my parents had all that money saved up for my college education and then somehow or other it was absconded in some kind of, scandal.
Yeah.
And so, I think that people are also looking at that ever yearning desire to be successful. Being successful equals financial success, right? And I think that many people in your generation are saying being successful isn't all about financial success.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to put a roof over your head and food on your table,
Yeah.
but it's about happiness too.
Yeah.
And, what am I passionate about? What do I want to do? And how am I going to create my own life? And, you read about all these startups, you see the social network movie, and you say, wow, you know what? I could do that, right? But I think the caveat here, which I'm seeing a lot of, when people are funding all of these companies across the universe, right? In the United States, when people are putting, or angels that throw out, 100 companies a year, right? So they're not really hand-holding them. I mean, and I feel like I'm really involved in all of them. And at one point, how much more can I do? I hope that, when they get to the next level, they don't want the angels so much. They want the VCs, right? So I'm in a great position because I can continue with new ones as ones exit.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that many of those companies are being funded need to stand back and say, hey, I can create a $3 million. I've been acknowledged and given money to start something up. I'm a $3 million company. That's my market cap. And you know what? I'm going to have a great lifestyle business. Or this thing is exploding and we just pivot. This could be a $50 million company, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's all different levels, and that is something that's going to sort of flush out, right? Everyone who starts a business thinks they have a multi-billion
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah. So that's what the business plan shows always. Yeah.
Right, and they don't. And that's okay. But if you're an entrepreneur and you love what you're doing and you can pay for your lifestyle and get up every morning and be passionate about it, like what else could you ask for?
Fair. Okay, makes a lot of sense. So now I'm gonna sneak two more in. The next one I think that comes to mind is what is a week in your life? How what are things you do that I think what I find interesting is always to figure out one, what makes people tick, and I have some sort of an idea. Two is also practically, like, how do you manage yourself, your own energy? It would be interesting to see what I can learn from that.
I don't have an assistant. I do everything myself, right? So from the meetings with entrepreneurs to the board, whatever, to the evenings we have out, to a dinner party for 12 people, to managing a house. I'm in the middle of two major construction projects. And my children, their lives, whatever. One of the things I do, I'm extremely organized, right?
Okay.
And I always have a lot going on in my head, and I keep lists, right? And I get things done the minute they come to my desk, right? Like I don't let things linger.
Okay.
right? And I think many do. One of the reason my calendar actually works is, so let's say I email you and say, great, love to meet. How's November 9th at 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
Right? I put it in the calendar right there.
Okay.
And even if it takes you 3 days to get back to me, that sounds really good. You're already in the calendar.
Okay.
So then I don't have to say, oh, shit, I filled the time slot.
Okay. Okay.
So actually, it works because, I assume they're going to say yes. And if they don't, it's fine. I can do it. But I move them or whatever it is, And if I have something, Tuesdays is the day that I spend with a friend or personal, and I'm working on these real estate projects. So that's blocked out, right?
Okay.
I try to be home at least. I try to go out only one night between Monday and Thursday night, although it doesn't always happen because I still have a kid at home, right?
Yeah.
I had a conference call on Skype with 2 women in San Francisco on Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock while I was making dinner.
Okay.
What you gotta do?
Cool. Okay, cool. Now it's the final question actually, and this one's because the audience of this one of this post and of this interview is really a whole bunch of youngsters, 18 and 30 years of age. At least from the RealAcad circle, it's a whole bunch of people just like Jessica, I guess, 18 and 30 years of age, looking to do something with their lives. I think a lot of them aspire to lead, to lead, to lead. I know at least if not the world or some big community, at least their family. And I'm curious to understand, like, what would your message be to all these people?
I've always said this, even when people worked for me when I was 22 years old, right? Follow your heart. If you get up every morning at a job, and every morning for 2 weeks you get up and you think, oh, God, this is the worst, right? Move, leave, right? You have to be happy. You have to be happy and you have to be healthy, right? Life's too short. There's no reason to be in bad relationships, be in bad jobs. It's up to you. I mean, you can do it. There's plenty of people that are in bad relationships for years and years and years and years, To think that your kids don't know that you're having a horrible relationship is absolutely ridiculous, right? But, life is too short. I think if more people grabbed opportunities and stuck with things that, like, rock their boat on a daily basis, would be a much better world.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Joanne. I mean,
it's great talking to you in person. I love that you're like the first person every day on my vlog.
well, it's funny, but it's become sort of routine by now because I expect it's about 10:30 or 11:30, in the morning when I practically see Fred and you post, and being a blogger, I realize how much it means to have somebody comment. I think I appreciate it a lot more. I used to read your blog for a long time without ever commenting, and then at some point I was like, no, no, no. If, you got it's the golden rule, right? You got to do what.
Yeah, I wish more people would comment. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I meet that, I've been reading for years, or I read it, or like random people will comment that I'm like, I didn't even know read it. And it's like, wow, well, why not? There's a whole audience out there. It's a community that can talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And in my case, I have a blog called The Learning a Day where the belief is every day we get better. And ever since I think Fred put up this blog post called the Fred Wilson School of Blogging. So ever since I've copied exactly what he does, with the short form, the long form, the hacker news, the whole deal. And what's interesting is now I'm beginning to see it as a community. It never ever occurred to me that this is like a bar, or it could be like you're the hostess and then there's a bunch of people who hang around. It's actually a pretty cool concept to have intellectual dialogue, right? Versus, I don't know, surfing on the internet and doing something mindless. So I do find that really inspiring.
It is inspiring. It's very cool. I mean, I've been doing it for 8 years, and I think it's just an amazing thing, and it's you think differently because you have to write something.
Yeah, no, it's and for me the struggle has also been a discipline thing. I mean, aside from trying to get there every day, but I'm like forced to look at things positively. And I think over time, the funny thing is, I think I'm trying to become more worthy of my blog. I think learning a day, and then now trying to be more positive about it. But hey,
That's good.
thank you so much, John. I don't want to take any more of your time. I know it's Sunday and family time, but do say a big hi to Fred from me. We haven't
I
ever
will.
met, but I do hope to, catch him on an interview as well sometime.
Okay, great. Take care.
Take care. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, bye.
Bye.